Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, May 17th, 2025. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies. Right now it's primarily consisting of cross stitching. I also do a little bit of sewing, and I'm starting to ever so slightly dip my toe into quilting. And what I mean that when I say that is that I'm purchasing things, kits, that kind of a thing, and then not working on them. um Also, I enjoy paper crafting. I like to make cards and gift tags, gift card holders, treat boxes, that kind of a thing. If you are returning, welcome back. I really do appreciate you coming back and seeing what I've been up to. Okay, so it's been a couple weeks since my last video. Last weekend here in Southern California was literally the hottest day of the year. In Long Beach, we hit about 100, maybe a little higher. And it was May 10th. I think it was May 10th. May 10th. We're usually in the 70s, mid 70s. Yeah, it was May 10th. And I had outdoor training with 40 to 45 teenagers that I was helping with. What is outdoor training? I work at a camp, and we have one of our programs. We utilize teens to help with younger kid groups that come to camp with volunteer parent leaders. So we have to teach them how to be safe and how to properly chop wood according to our standards and our protocols and our accreditation, and how to light a fire, how to put out a fire, small cooking fires in a fire pit, how to raise the flag, sing some camp songs, how to cook a meal. So it's a 6-hour training, which normally is not a problem. And I was doing great until about 1:30, 1:45. We get our wood from a local lumber yard, so we get whatever they give us. This time it was thick, like 6-inch blocks, which is great, but it's not fuel for your fire. You can't put a 6-inch square block on a fire and expect it to stay lit. So especially when it's not like a bonfire that you're building, it's a cooking fire. So that meant we had short, like 4 to 6-inch pieces of wood, and it was very difficult for my group to keep the fire going. So, and we were making a stew type meal. All of the fire rings were doing the same meal, and we just put them all out on the table, and everybody just dip, until they're gone. And they had to keep the training going, and ours was not done. So I went ahead and I stayed back, and I started feeding the fire and finished cooking the meal. So I got there about 10 minutes late, and just that little bit of time to like slow down, grab a bite to eat, I was like done. I was done. We got cleaned up pretty quickly, got home, but I still didn't leave work until like 2:30. Came home, jumped in the shower really quick, took a tiny little nap, and then was back at work again for a fundraiser for our CITs, counselors in training. They did a bunko night, which was so much fun. I had a really, really good time. But by about halfway through, I just looked at my partners and I said, you have to count, because my brain was not firing on all 4 cylinders. It's not even firing on 1 cylinder. So I was really tired, and we got home. about 9:30. Well, my husband left earlier. I got home about 9:15, 9:30, because I didn't want to leave my gal there to close up by herself. So I stayed with her, waited for them to clean up, and we shut everything up and came home. And then the next day was Mother's Day. Mother's Day was lovely. I slept in a tiny little bit. I was still very, very tired, a little cranky. And then my kids were teasing each other, and that got annoying. And then the food came. We brought in Lucille's, which was okay. It could have been better. It could have been much worse. It was just okay. I think I was just overly tired still. So it wasn't until like Tuesday where I kind of felt like I was back to normal, and things were moving along quite nicely. And then this week I had to get our staff application up online, and I had so many meetings. So I wound up coming home last night. I stayed a little bit late because they had an overnight out in camp, our spring camp out. So I stayed, 20 to 30 minutes later than I normally do, just to make sure that they were okay before I left. And I kept trying to do the next step with putting the stuff online, and my brain was just... So I came home, took a little break, and then sat down, and for the next 3 hours I sat and I put an application online, 2 applications online. So I worked from home for like 3 hours. So I didn't get a lot done last night stitching wise, but I got work done. So I think that counts for something. If it's going to make next week run a little smoother for me, that I'm happy for. I may or may not have a training on Thursday with our former executive director to go over resident camp stuff. It's kind of up to me and what I think I need at the time. And then I am taking Friday off, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll be working only a half day Thursday. We'll have to see. So I'm going to take some time off. Although I was in the meeting, I got a little overwhelmed. I'm like, now I'm kind of second guessing my comp day I'm taking on Friday. If I take it, it would be nice because it'll be a 4-day weekend, and I'm hoping that I can get some stitching done, some finishing done. Mostly finishing. Like if I don't get much stitching done, I'm okay. I really want to get my pile of finishing tackled so that I can get some of those finishing baskets, the empty ones, back up where they belong, to start all over again. So I am really looking forward to next weekend. I think we may barbecue for Memorial Day, but do it on Sunday because my husband has to work Memorial Day. So today I went to Hobby Lobby and I wound up picking up really cute forks and plates and napkins. And if we don't wind up doing it, I think I'll just return it. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for next weekend. I think it'll be lovely and it'll be warm. Today it's rather cool and it's been drizzly. So we went from last weekend being the hottest, literally the hottest day of the year, to being unseasonably cool. I can't even say it's May because this isn't even May weather. So I did have a fully finish this week, and I had a finish, and I had some new starts, and I had a lot of stitching. So let's get started because this is going to probably be a little bit longer video. And I want to start with my finish. I finished Eliza's French Birds 1849 a couple weeks ago, and I ordered a frame. It was the wrong size. Someone said order I ordered a 5x6 and it cut off the tails of the birds. Someone said order a 7x9 and I thought, ooh, excellent. I couldn't find a 7x9 that I liked that wasn't 5x7 on the inside. So then I found a 6x8 and that worked perfectly. So I went ahead and I framed Eliza's French Birds 1849. This frame I picked up at through Amazon, and I did leave the glass in, but I'm contemplating taking it out, and the reason is this, I just cut the piece down to size. I didn't put it on a backing or anything. I just laced it. I'm sorry, I didn't lace it. I just laid it on the back, on, you know, that on the inside. I'm sure that that's not acid free. So what I'm thinking about doing is if I remove the glass, which is going to be tricky because it's kind of adhered into the frame. But if I remove the glass, then I'm thinking I can put some Warm and Natural, mount it to the backing, and then put this right on top of it, and that will give it a little bit of protection. But then it keeps the stitches open, which I don't have a problem with. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have a problem with. Some of my other pieces don't have glass. But anyways, that's just kind of my thought. And I thought this frame was perfect because it looks like little feathers and it's a very antique-y looking stitch. And then I will hang it on the wall, probably out here for the time being. It may wind up inside. I don't know yet. But I think it's pretty. I'm really pleased with it. So, and the frame, it is not symmetrical. But I think it has character. So, that was a finish. Check, check. A fully finish. I also had a finish strawberry quilt by Primrose Cottage. This was a Friday focus. I almost got it done 2 Fridays ago, and that didn't happen, but I did finish it, and I think I finished it actually on Saturday. I don't think I worked on this. I don't think I worked on it Friday, but I might have. It doesn't matter. It's done. Look at how cute it is. I am using the called for, which this is a 32 count berry smoothie Lugana. And I love it. I really, really do love it. Hobby Lobby has some very, very cute strawberry things. They're like kitchen things. So there's a little strawberry mug, which I did wind up buying, like the little teeny tiny ones. And I didn't buy. They have like a ceramic covered butter dish with little strawberries on it, and a bowl and plates. Just really cute things. I haven't decided what I want to do yet, so I haven't picked anything like that up to use for display. It's almost too big for the displays that I want to do, but it's cute nonetheless. It looked a little wonky. Anyways, I love it. It is so cute. So I'm glad that I got that done. I don't have enough fabric here to do something else, but I am going to save the scraps because I'll probably have a couple inches, and that can do something long and narrow or a button cover, something like that. I did enjoy this fabric a whole lot, so I may be looking to buy more of that. We'll have to wait and see. Where are my new starts? Okay, new starts. Couldn't stand it anymore. I really, really, really want to get this finished. I didn't work on it all this past week, but I started Lily animal crackers from Stacy Nash Designs. I'm using the called for colors, but I am stitching this one on Veins of History 36 count linen by Live and Dye LA. This is one of the fabrics I picked up at their retreat. Ugh, a little frog leg. Oh, it's so cute. I think she's going to work up pretty quickly. I only had about an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. I did have to frog the leg. Frog the frog leg. But I think she's going to work up pretty quickly. I'm just really anxious to get her finished so that I can try to finish her in the shaped pillow form that everybody is doing. Because I think she'll be so cute in a bowl, on a shelf, a tiered tray. So I got to start on her. The next thing that I started was this Bees Got Knees by Hands On Design. This was from the Spring Mingle. It was a class that was done for Lindy Stitch's Spring Mingle. And I started it, and then I realized I didn't have all the colors. So I did pick up the rest of the colors that I need. So I worked on what I could work on for the time that I had, and I am stitching this on 32 count Sleepy Hollow Linen by Live and Dye LA. Again, another cut that I picked up. And there we're at. There we are. Colors are showing up really, really nicely on this linen. I'm loving it. So it'll be fun to work on this and get it to a point where I can finish it. I'm hoping I counted correctly and measured correctly, and starting here gives me enough space and room over here on this side. So I think I'll work on this, and then I'll work my way up and over here. Fingers crossed I measured properly. And I measured multiple times before I started, so hopefully I did I did it right. But I think this is going to be gorgeous. I have seen this stitched on several different colors of linen. One that's like this color, a couple that are gray, and then the tans, and they're so pretty. My needle's coming out, sorry. Give me a second, put that back in. So now that I have all of the floss colors, I can go ahead and keep working on that. And I started, there's a hare in my garden. I decided I was going to stitch this on 20 count chocolate milk by Fabrics by Stephanie, I believe. Yeah, and it's a linen. And I'm using the called for Perle Cotton number 5. So these are the flosses. Anything that I'm stitching on a 32 count, I'm doing 2 strands over 2 linen threads. This one I'm just using 1 strand because that's what the pattern actually called for. And I've never stitched with Perle Cotton before, and I'm not sure I'm liking it. I like the way it looks on the 20 count. The stitches look nice and chunky, which I really think is going to be adorable with this piece. But I'm not sure that I really enjoy stitching on it. So I got the bottom point of the strawberry done. I'm enjoying the look of it. I think I'm going to enjoy the size of it. I mean, this was not a lot of time. It worked up very quickly, so I'm encouraged that the rest of it will work up as quickly. I just don't... I started this on Mother's Day twice. I started with the greenhouse, which is the white outline in the chart. But I stitched it too high on my fabric. So I started stitching this, and I got the whole thing done. And then I realized when I was showing my mom when she got to the house, I was like, I didn't allow enough, because you're supposed to allow 5 or 6 inches at the top so that you can gather it, because that's the top of the strawberry. I did not have 5 or 6 inches. I had 3. So I picked it all out, and I started much lower, and that's how far I got in just a couple hours of stitching on Mother's Day evening. So I'm excited to get this one done. I am starting to lean towards doing this finish, but I think instead of making the strawberry top, I really think I'm gonna do carrot greens. It just seems like it's an Easter stitch. It seems like it should be a carrot. It's got bunnies and carrots. It seems like it should be a carrot. Okay. Next, I pulled this out. This is Unplug and Go Outside. This is in a book, Cross Stitch for the Earth. I took it to FedEx and had it spiral bound. I am doing this one for my office at work, and I'm using all of the called for colors, which is so pretty. And I'm stitching it on, what am I stitching it on? Something tiny. 40 count cream linen by Zweigart. And this is my progress. I finished the word outside, and I started working on the bottom of the G and the O. So I've got the bunny and some boulders starting behind the bunny, and then on this side I've started the deer. Those are deer legs. Stitching this 1 over 2 linen threads. I think it's gonna finish right around a 5x7 size, if I'm not mistaken, so it's gonna be perfect for where I want it in my office. This is actually a really fun stitch for being as detailed as it is. It's a lot of fun. I'm so glad that I picked up this book. I have this book in my Amazon shop, so if you are interested and you want an easy way of going to purchase it, feel free to click on the link in the description below. Let me just show you some of the projects. I think they have a page that has... So these are the projects. I was debating on doing this one. It's kind of negative stitching. So you do it on a dark green background, and then all of the light green and the pinks, that is all stitching, and the rest of it is just fabric. So it has a nice texture. And then these. I'm debating I might do this one too for work, or that one. Maybe both. So I'm really enjoying it. Oh, and there's this one too. The earth has music for those who listen. William Shakespeare. So many possibilities and not a lot of time. My friend came over after work the other day. We've known each other since we were 5, and now she works for me. And she's heard me talk about my cross stitching and this and that, and so she's like, can I see some of your cross stitching? And so, or she saw something and she goes, oh, is this your cross stitching? I said, yeah. And it was I had 2 large bags sitting on something in the living room, and it's full of bags. And she's like, can I look? I'm like, yeah, help yourself, look. So she kept pulling things out and looking at them, and she's like, you've got a lot. I'm like, I know, I've got a lot going on, and still more to do. I'm like, I just get bored, and then I start new things, and I don't finish what I've started, and it's just a vicious cycle. But she liked what she saw, so it was kind of fun. We had a good time. Land That I Love. This is a birthday stitch that I started in 2023. And I am probably about 2/3 of the way done. And I love this so much. Oof. And I did pull it out and work on it. I'm going to lose this needle. Hold on. I think I need to get back into using my needle minders. I've kind of gotten out of practice of using them, and I'm not quite sure why. Oof, struggle bus today. Okay. So there we are. So what I did is I finished this banding, and then I started working on the sides. Actually, I worked more on this side. So I will, the next time I pick it up, I'll probably work on the sides. I may decide to finish the border, because what I think is going to be really, really a lot of fun are those motifs. The 2 bowls of flowers, the little star that says USA, the eagle, even the alphabet looks fun to me, which I can't believe I just said that, but and I keep finding, I think that might be why, one of the reasons why it's taking me so long is that I want to savor every minute of that, because I think they're gorgeous. So now I'm like, okay, now what? I think I'm going to bring the border up and maybe finish the border. We'll see. And then work on what's inside for that top third. I have been working the border as I go just because I don't want to get off. I want to know that if I find that I'm off, I'm only going down probably to here. I'm not going down to here because I'm working the border and then I'm lining it up with what I'm stitching over here. And it's helping to keep me on track and to not have to frog the entire border, because if that were to happen, I think I would just like curl up in a corner and just cry and cry and cry. This one is being stitched on 40 count vintage country mocha. One floss strand over 2 linen threads and the called for colors. So we've got DMC, Weeks, and Classic. And I do love it. But it's time for me to get this done and to put it on the wall. My pattern. There's a hare in my garden. Okay. I needed a new Friday focus, and I just wasn't feeling it last night. I stitched for a little bit in the morning, and in the evening I stitched for a tiny little bit because I was working. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this as a Friday focus, because really it's just smalls that don't take very long. So I don't want to count the whole booklet as a Friday focus. But anyways, I pulled this out. So it's 12 monthly minis by Primrose Cottage. I have done February, March, and I'm almost done with January now. I'm stitching this one on 32 count Buttermilk Lugana by Live and Die LA. I think it's Live and Die LA. Yep. I am loving this fabric. It's got a little different feel to it than the other Luganas I've worked on. Almost, it's not spongy, but it almost feels spongy. I don't know. It's just a fun feeling to the fabric. I really like it. Anyway, so I worked on the snowmen. So I got the snowmen done. All they need are the little arms. And then I got the snow on the trees. So I just need to add the green. And this one is done. So depending on what I'm doing this evening, I might just finish this out this evening and then move on to April. But there's February and March. Both of those I did in one day when I was sick. I picked it up in the middle late afternoon, and I finished it by the time I went to both of them by the time I went to bed. This one I'm just pulling colors that I have on hand. So like the hat band was supposed to be a different color. I didn't have that color, so I just used the scarf color because, you know, coordination is okay too. But I think these are going to be really, really cute. I'm debating on whether or not to finish these as I go or finish them all at once. Maybe if I finish them all at once, they can all be finished similarly. So maybe I'll do that. I took out Bluebird Garden this week. This one is by Artful Offerings. Speaking of bluebirds, I love them. We have Western bluebirds here in Southern California. So I have a bluebird nesting box, and a friend gave it to me in 2020, and I have had bluebirds nest in that box every year since. So this is my fifth year of having a nest. I think the first year I had one clutch, and the second year I had second, third, and fourth year I had two. Hold on. So anyway, um I have another nesting pair in my box this year, and it took a while. Usually they're nesting by the end of March. This time it was the end of April. Um, because the dam sparrows, they kept taking over the box. My bluebirds would start nesting, and then the sparrows would go in, and I could tell because I check on it. Bluebirds do not mind human interaction. I check on the box, and anytime I saw something that looked like it was messy, I cleaned it out, started over again. Twice actually, I had to leave the bluebird door open, the door of the box open, so that the sparrows wouldn't nest. And one time they tried to anyways, and so I'm like, no, no. Pulled out their nesting material, opened it up a little bit more, and then finally they moved on. I think they also had a nest in my tree, so they were, I think, trying to, have an apartment complex. Nest in the tree, nest in the box. It's a lovely place. So they finally, I think that nest um, got disassembled. I also thought it was interesting because we had a mockingbird that was hanging out when I think the sparrows had babies in that nest. So I don't know if the mockingbird took care of that, or what. I don't know. Sparrows are gone. Bluebirds are here. I have babies. Well, I haven't heard them, but I know Mama has been sitting on eggs. I have eggs. I need to check. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning when she's taking a break. Um, so there's that. And then I have a Swinho wide-eye nest that's at eye level in the tree that's right outside my bedroom window. So that's nice because the cats and I sit there and we watch the mama, and those birds fledge 10 to 12 days after they've hatched. I think it's interesting because last weekend my husband took a picture of the babies, and I'll insert a picture if I remember. And the feathers were just starting to come in. They were little chunky little babies, bald. And then this week, just a few days ago, I look out and they're poking their head up. And then I saw them this morning, and they're starting to, they look, and it was like wingersizing. He was like flexing his wings earlier in the week, and today he's, poking his head out. So I'm thinking that they might be fledging here in the next week or so, which makes me sad because they only nest once a season, I think. The bluebirds will come back and do 2 to 3. So I'm hoping that when these baby bluebirds, if they hatch and fledge, I'm hoping that would probably be middle of June when that happens, maybe the end. I'm hoping I'll get one more clutch. That's what has happened in the past, with the exception of the very first year. The very first year, I think I got one. So I've basically had 5. 2, 4, 6, 8. This is my 10th clutch of eggs, and I've had anywhere from 3 to 4. Maybe one clutch I had 5 eggs, 5 babies actually fledged. No deaths that I know of. So it's been fun. I really enjoy it. People think I'm nuts. I really enjoy it. It's I don't know, it's fun. So that is a long way of saying that's why I picked Bluebird Garden, because I love the bluebirds. They're so pretty. I don't know. I am stitching this one on 40 count Ale by Picture This Plus. Excuse me. Yep. And I love this fabric with these colors. So I worked on the belly. I got all of that lighter peachy terracotta color filled in. So now all I need to do is go back and do the square outlines, and then I can start in on the blue. So it's really cute. I would love to get this one done so I could get it framed and up. Called for colors. Mostly Gentle Arts with one DMC. So I'm glad I pulled that one out. I pulled out Indigo Lane, which was my birthday start from 2024. I wanted something smaller that I could actually finish before my birthday in 2025. Birthday is in August, so I have 3 months. Land That I Love was 2023, and Summer Quaker by Lila's Studios 2020. No, Lila's Summer Quakers 2023. Land That I Love is 2022 birthday starts. So those were big. They're not going to be done anytime soon. So I wanted to go a little smaller, and that's why I chose Indigo Lane by With Thy Needle and Thread. I am stitching this on 40 count Legacy Linen by Picture This Plus. And I'm kind of using the called for, and I'm kind of swapping them out. One of you all told me what you did to swap out the colors, and so I kind of pulled those colors aside, and I just use them when I think I should. But I'm pulling from these colors. When I'm all done, I will list what I'm doing. But here is where I am at. So I did this Quaker motif up here, and I started working in on the house. And then I noticed that I'm off. I think this is too far over. I think it should be more over here. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than tearing the whole thing out, which I could, it did not take me very long to do that piece of it. I think I'm just going to make that really wide, like a wide path leading up to the house, and extend it over this way, with solid stitches to make it equal on either side of that door. I will see when I'm done with it what it looks like. When I'm done, I'm going to work on the house first and see what else I have left to do, and then I will decide what I'm going to do with that pathway, if I'm going to tear it out or if I'm going to add to it. I think I'm going to add to it, and I'm thinking that this might not be long enough. We will see. But I kept counting here over and over and over again. When I pick it up again, I'll do the same thing. I'll count it again. But I'm ready to see this one done. I do love it though. I really, really do. I have some long stitches here to put in, but basically that half of the piece is done. And I'm loving it on this linen. I think I'm going to have to get more of this linen, but a bigger cut so I can do more things with it. I think my son is missing me. He's sending me photos. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. He's sending me pictures, and he sent me a video of him disassembling a very large gun and reassembling it. And it looked like he struggled a little bit. And I'm like, was that a good time? He goes, yeah, 45 seconds. I did just as good as a major. And I'm like, or one of the majors did. And I'm like, good job. Indigo Lane. So I'm going to hopefully get that finished before my birthday in August. That is the plan. I did pull out, I'm having so much fun with this piece. I'll find the picture. 324 is what I'm working on, but I cannot find the photo of the cover. There it is. 324 by Works by ABC. What can I say about this piece? It's small motifs stitched one color per motif. So each square is a color, one color, and each decorative motif is one color, and they're all different. 324 different colors of DMC for this piece. So I just figured I'll start and see where I can go. And I'm having the best time with this. I am stitching this on 40 count optical white linen, and I am almost done with page 1. And that's where I'm at. So you can see I have a missing square here because I was missing that floss. I picked it up today. So I will, next time I work on it, I will add that in. But it is so pretty. I love it. And every time I show it to someone, they're like, ooh. I don't know if this one will wind up in my office at work or not. It could, just because I think it's so pretty and I might want to look at it every day. We'll just have to wait and see when it's done. But I love it. So the colors that I'm working from, I just pull a section of colors and I put them on a ring, and I just work until this ring is empty. When this ring is empty, then I go and I'll pull another 10, 12, 15, 20, however many I want. I'll pull those flosses, put them on the ring, and work them. And I know I go over this a little bit every week, but just in case you're new or you missed it, I'm going to go over it again. They give you a sheet like this, and each of those colors is the floss number, the floss color number that particular motif is being stitched in. So I made a copy of it, and I take a highlighting pen, and when I'm done with each and every motif, I just put a swipe of color in there. That way I know it's done. And then that way I know if I'm missing. So like 35, I was missing 35. So now I know, even if I worked all the way around it, I can come back and know I'm missing 35, pick up 35, fill it in, color it in, that's done. So that's just kind of how I'm keeping track. But I'm also keeping track by taking a little bit of sticky tape or Post-it tape and putting it on each motif that I'm done. So that's kind of what it looks like, right? And that helps to keep me on track. When I am all done with this page, I will do some kind of tape marking on the corner, you know, in this area here, to know that that page is done. And then I'll pull all of these little pieces of tape off and add them to the second page. That way I'm not wasting a bunch of Post-it tape, and I will just work it that way. And I was debating, do I come in and fill in, like finish filling in down here? And I think I just opted to go all the way across, and then I will come down, and then I'll probably cut my fabric because this is a very large piece of linen that I'm working on. It's huge. I don't know why I got a yard. But I did. So, I would like to maybe cut that down a little bit. But I think it's beautiful. I love the colors, and I'm having so much fun with the pinks and the purples, and then we're going to roll into the blues and the greens. I don't know that I'm going to be so happy right in here in, you know, the greens to the golds. I think the olives, we'll have to wait and see what they look like. I mean, they didn't photograph very well here, but we'll see. So that's I just sit down and I'll put in, some people are putting in like a stitch a day or like a motif a day. I just, whatever I can get done in a sitting one evening is what I get done. Okay. Under the heading of pull something out you haven't worked on in years, I pulled out the Sunflower Sampler. This was a free stitch along, I believe, mystery stitch through Fat Quarter Shop. I paid for the kit, and it came with 14 count Icelandic gray Aida and the called for flosses. And a needle minder and the bag. I've been struggling with this one quite a bit. I stitched on this one year. My husband had to have a couple of procedures where I had to be present, but I couldn't, because of COVID, I couldn't stay in the space. So I, or in the doctor's office. So I sat in the car, and this is what I worked on because it was Aida and it was quick and easy. But this is where I'm at. So I finished this leaf here, did that sunflower, and started the brown here. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, and I kind of didn't like it for a long time, and I was debating on UFOing it, giving it away. My son's girlfriend likes sunflowers. I'm like, do you want me to teach you how to do it? Do you want to finish this? She's like, oh no. Like, okay, that's fine. And then I thought, oh, I can make a project bag. So then I kind of got reinterested in it. I did pick up fabric for a project bag. I've got just a plaid, and I've got this cute bumblebee fabric and this bumblebee fabric. So I'm seeing a project bag with this as a front panel. But I need to work on it to get it to the point where I can put it in a project bag. It was nice to pick up something that is fairly symmetrical. So the flowers are symmetrical to stitch. It's 14 count, so it goes pretty quickly. So we'll see how long it takes me to finish it. I'm keeping the project bag fabric in here so that I don't lose it. Maybe it will spur me on. Maybe I'll bring that out a couple of times a month to stitch on it. That would be a good car project. We've finished planning our vacation finally. And it's changed shape a little bit. But it's still in the same general area. But we are not going to go to Mesa Verde National Park just because there's a lot of climbing. And my knees makes me very nervous. So until I get that taken care of, either with physical therapy and or losing some weight and or surgery, I don't feel comfortable climbing some of those ladders. And the one dwelling that I really would want to look at, it's 62, I think it's 62 ladder rungs, and then you have to crawl through a tight space, and I'm a little claustrophobic anyways, and I just said, can we, like, he's like, we don't have to. I said, but I want to. We're going to be right there. Why wouldn't we do it? He's like, if your knees aren't going to handle it, we can come back another time. And I'm like, okay. Seaside Tiny Town. This may be a legitimate Friday focus. So anyway, so we went ahead and scheduled our vacation. We're going to be going to Phoenix. I'm going to go to the attic. We're going to go drive through Monument Valley, do Four Corners, on our way to Loveland, Colorado. I think the Colorado Stitcher shop is in Loveland. I think, I don't know if that is not actually a shop, please let me know, but I think that it is. So going there, we're going to spend a few days there and go into the Rocky Mountain National Park. And then we're going to come home. We're going to either do Canyonlands or Capitol Reef. Let me know which one you prefer if you've seen them. And then go to St. George, spend a couple days in St. George, which is one of our favorite stopping points anyways when we're touring, and vacationing and traveling in that part of the town or the country anyways. Hopefully the Primrose Cottage shop will be open. And then we're going to go to the north rim of the Grand Canyon and then hit Sedona and Prescott and come home. So just a nice little like loop-de-loop, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. It'll be nice. Seaside Tiny Town. I finished the Pelican and started on the boathouse. So all I have is the boathouse left to do, and that house, and then a couple clouds to put in, and the beads on the crab eyes. So this is really, really close to being done. I am stitching this one on 32 count Polar Plunge linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. I love the blue. I think it looks like a nice sea coastal sky. I had started this originally on a Mani Didana fabric that I loved, and I thought, oh, that'll be pretty. The colors looked really pretty with it. The floss colors, all called for floss. But the lighthouse, I was struggling with the lighthouse because it's not really a bright white. And I just did not like that color on the on that fabric. And I finally, I let it sit for a very long time, and I finally just said, let it go. Started on something else. So I found the blue, and I'm much happier with it on the blue. So Lila's Studio Summer Quaker 2023 birthday start. I am stitching this on a 36 count Russian tea cake linen, 37 count. And I actually am stitching this 2/2, and I normally don't do that. Usually with 36 and higher, I'm doing one strand of floss over 2 linen threads, but I started this with 2. I think I was just so eager to start, I didn't really pay attention. But I wound up loving the colors. However, that meant that with one of these colors, I was going to probably run out because I didn't buy enough skeins. So I So I thought, okay, I will work with this color. I'll work the inside border and work the color to get these, because it's this color right here. So at least those are all matching. And then I will go from there. And if I need to substitute, I will, because I did go and pick up another skein, but I picked it up in Memphis and it's very different from the skein that I picked up here. As it should be. I know better. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly I wasn't. So anyway, so this is where I'm at. This time I finished here, and then I finished the outside on this. This whole thing is charted in this color, but this is the same color as this, and I might run out. So what I decided to do is, it's a bird on a branch. So I'm stitching the branch and the leaves in green, and the bird will be a light blue. And then that will save and save some of that blue color. And then on the other side over here, there's another motif that I will do a similar thing. I'll just stitch the outside in this color and the inside in a different color. And I think it's going to look beautiful. So this is pretty much page 1 and a little bit of a second page here. I mean, I don't think it's technically page 1. So it's beautiful. I'm so excited to work on this one. I don't know why I don't pull it out more frequently. All the called for, because I do love it. Last but not least, can you imagine if I only did videos once a month? We would be here for days. Redbird Sampler by Brenda Gervais. If you've been with me a while, you know that this one got a timeout because I stitched this one and it was way up high in comparison to this one. So I frogged it, got irritated, and put it away. Well, I pulled it out because I'm tired of seeing this in my bag of whips. Pulled it out, and I think we're in line. And if we're not, we're much closer than what we were, but I do think we are in line. So I worked on this pot and the greenery, and I started in on the flowers. I am stitching this one on 32 count Belfast linen. It does not give me a color, but it's kind of like a peachy tan. I really do like it. And I am using the called for. What's the chart? Here's the chart. The called for colors. Very, very pretty. I love the corally orangey reds with the teal. It's just a really nice combination. Okay. Let's see. Haul. I had a few things come in today. And for Mother's Day, my husband gave me a Visa gift card. And I forgot I was going to use it to frame entwined hearts. And instead, I went to Hobby Lobby today. But that's okay, because I got some finishing pieces. And I went to go look. They have Highland cows there for... they've already got their fall stuff out. So they've got Highland cows there. Darling. They're about 12 or 16, 18 inches tall. They won't fit on a tiered tray, which is what I was really hoping for. And I was going to pick them up. And I could have with my gift card, but that would have been the only thing I would have gotten. And and where really am I going to store them, and where am I going to put them. Now, if they go on sale, or when they go on sale as we get closer to fall, if they're still there, I will probably go back and get them. They were $53 each. So I opted not to go, or not to pick those up, because I had already found stuff that I liked and wanted. So I picked up this frame. I love the design. It was $14. It was not on sale. But again, when it's a gift card, I don't mind so much. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch in there, but I have some ideas. I can see like a vintagey looking lemons or strawberries, or maybe vintage roses. Maybe I'll create something. I couldn't let it go. I think that comes from fear of not missing out, but not being able to get that later. Because when I am at Home Goods, if I don't pick up a frame that I see that I like right then and there, I go back even a week later and it's gone. So I didn't want that to happen with this one. So I picked up that frame. I also picked up this frame so that I could finish, I want to call it Home Sweet Home, but I don't think that's correct. It's a Brenda Gervais chart. You'll know it. I just wanted to see if it will fit, and it did. And I think I like this one. That was $20. It's very ornate. It's a lot more ornate than what I originally thought, but I think it will work. What do you guys think? Originally, I was thinking a more plain frame with like a beaded fillet, but that's difficult to find for some reason. And that seems to be my theme, right? Like that seems to be my style, and I wanted this to be a little different. I think for now it'll be okay. What are your thoughts? And this is not, I just stuck it in the back. I think it could be okay. Oof, that glare. Take the glass out. I don't know, maybe the frame is too dark. Do I care? I don't even know if I care that much. Let me know what you think, because that is a definite option. I did buy floss for 2 projects that I'm missing floss for. I did pick up these darling glittered watermelons, because how could I not? Perfect for tiered trays and small and dough bowl decorations. I picked up this little guy, again, perfect for tiered trays. And I picked up America. They had a blue one and a white one, and one of them said Liberty, and I can't remember what the other ones, maybe Freedom, the other one said, but I liked the red, so I picked up the red. I picked up this little guy, again, tiered tray. And then I picked up these 2. Stitching with the Housewives finished on this one of their rounds on this, and it looks really, really cute. And I thought, oh, that's different and that's cute. I could do that. Well, then they had one here with the firecrackers, so I thought I would pick that one up too. $4. These might have been on sale. I'm not sure. But, I mean, even if I don't use them for a cross-stitch finish, they're cute just by themselves. And then I picked up this ribbon. Real pretty red, white, and blue gold stars. I just thought it's pretty. And then I also picked up an acorn, because who doesn't need an acorn? I opted not to wait for this one because this one can be fall decoration and roll right into Thanksgiving. So I just decided, again, gift certificate, just go ahead and get it. So that's what I did. I also picked up 2 garden like whirligig things, small. One is a flamingo that is solar powered, so I think its little belly lights up, and the other one is a cardinal and its little wings go. Those pictures might be at the beginning of the video. My floss frenzy came in. Weeks Dye Works from Fat Quarter Shop. So we got Okefenokee, Olive, Onyx, Oscar, Oyster, and Palomino. Okefenokee is a really pretty, like, dark green. I don't even know. That's such a strange name to me. But these are the colors. They all kind of go together. And then I got my classic Colorworks floss fix, which is onion skin, orangina, Aura's iris, organza pink, pansy purple, and pea pod. And there are these colors. So real pretty. That iris is really pretty. Real pretty purple. And I like this one. It's pink and orange together. I'm like, ooh, what can I do with that? Maybe a rose in this frame. And I had ordered some Ariel's Grotto 40 count linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a beautiful blue. Sorry for the crinkle. I'm going to take this out of the package just so we can enjoy it for all its grandeur. Hello from Liz Matthews did a Patreon release, and one of the versions is done on a blue. It's not this blue, but I liked this blue and I thought it would be a good substitute. So I picked it up. We'll see. It has a separate floss conversion for the blue, so I'm going to sit down and put that together and see where I'm at. I think that's it. That's all that's happened. Okay, this week, as I've been looking at my whips, I've been getting very frustrated, especially as I keep starting new things and not finishing as many as I'm starting. So my goal, definitely before the end of the month, is to finish the things that are sitting over there in that corner and getting them fully finished. Next, I would like to, I think what I want to do is I want to go through each of my whips. It might be almost time for a whip parade, mid-year whip parade. We'll see. I've got a lot. I'm not sure. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull each one out that I haven't worked on in a while. And I'm going to go through the floss, and I'm going to make sure that I have all the flosses that I need. And if I don't, I'm going to make a list. And I'm going to then pick up those flosses, put them in with the packet or the bag, the project bags, so that I can maybe I'm going to pull out another basket and put things in there that are at least 50% done. And then that will be what I pull from when I just want to kind of get something closer to the finish line and feel a win. Maybe that will help move things along. Perhaps. We shall see. I'm just about ready to put the spring stitching away and bring out the summer patriotic. I've got quite a few patriotic pieces that I'm either working on or want to start, so I think it's time to start focusing on that, and also a little bit of fall maybe, along with moving some of my samplers along too. So that is the goal. Maybe I'll work on that a little bit today while I'm doing laundry. Maybe I'll pull everything out and start making that list today. And then what I want to do is I've got new charts in here that I like, this the stitching quilt and the stitching Quaker by Primrose Cottage. I did not order the floss pack, and now I'm regretting that I didn't do that. But I think I'm going to kit this up with what I have in stash, because I'm trying not to buy cross stitch supplies. I did buy floss, but it's DMC, so 53 cents a skein, big whoop. I'm trying not to go online and buy more fabric, I mean, this Fabrics by Stephanie fabric was ordered months ago. Finishing things, yes, but cross stitch supplies, I'm really trying to do a no buy May, and I'm doing okay. I did slip up a little bit with the floss, but I needed those to move on. So I'm giving myself a pass on that. But anyways, I'd like to stitch some of these things up. I'd like to go through my patterns again, put away some of the new stuff. Oh, sorry. Keep out what I know I'm going to stitch on, kind of clean up out here a little bit. So much to do, so little time. Maybe I'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. I do want to do a little gardening tomorrow. The weather will be much nicer starting tomorrow. So I kind of want to do some gardening. I want to go to my favorite nursery and pick up a few things. Just things that have been like ideas that I've been having, in my head. So moving forward with them and seeing where they take me. It's kind of where I'm at, getting things a little more organized, so maybe I can have a little bit more, I don't want to say structure, because stitching I think should be fun, and you should stitch on what you want to stitch on when you want to stitch on it. But at least if I have some things complete and ready to go, there'll be no excuse, right? And I might be able to move some things to the finish line and get them started. I've got 2 baskets of things that need to be started. Some of them are ready to go. Some of them I need more supplies. So I would like to have a basket of the ones that need things for sure and start working on getting those fully kitted. And then of course, like I said, go through some of my patterns that I already have, pull some of maybe the smaller ones out that are patriotic themed and maybe fall themed, and start working on those in the next few weeks, so that I can have maybe some finishes in time for Halloween, Thanksgiving, the end of summer. If you have made it this long, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. If you would please take a moment and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the content and all of my ramblings. Hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so that you're notified when I upload new content. Make sure that you like the video, share the video, comment on the video. I do see all of the comments. I do read all of the comments. I do try to do my best to at least like the comment with the little heart emoji, if not actually respond to you. If you ask a question, I do my best to try to find an answer for you. So yeah, if you could do all of that, I would greatly appreciate it. Next video should come next week. June is going to be a different story because I'm training almost every single weekend through June. We'll just have to play it by ear and see. That also means I'll probably be taking some time off at other points in June, so maybe it'll just be a different recording schedule. We'll see. Anyways, I've talked long enough. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. If you celebrate, have a great week. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye.